Welcome to the third edition of the Cal Phelps Show as we look at the 2016 Lyon College Scots football team, and we take a look back at Saturday's contest against Lindsey Wilson College from Columbia, Kentucky, and we take a sneak peek at this weekend's contest against Hendrix College, which will be played at 2 o'clock at Pioneer Stadium. This week's game will be called the Battle of Scottzilla, and you'll find out more about that later this week. But first, let's talk about this week's game. I'm John Kruger, Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Information and Marketing, along with Cal Phelps, the head football coach at Lyon College. On Saturday, the Scots went to Columbia and did a great job in the first half. Trailed 14-7 at one point, and went into the half down 21-10, pulled within 21-17 in the third quarter, and then Lindsey Wilson, ranked number 12th in the nation, pulled away with a 63-17 victory. Let's talk a little bit about that game with Coach Phelps. Coach, you got to be happy with the effort for about 2.5 quarters. What was going so well for the team early on?
I think everything was the way we thought it would be, and the way we think that our team can play is we were playing good on offense, we're playing good on defense. Guys were flying around, having a good time, and it was just fun to watch our guys compete. And our guys are competitive guys, and from the outside world looking in, it's still it's a bad defeat if you look at it just on the scoreboard. But internally, there was a lot of positives from that game for our guys and from our coaching staff to take away from.
You trailed 21-10 at the half. What was the feeling, the emotion? What was going on between coaches and players at halftime?
Oh, it was good. I mean, it's what we wanted. I mean, we were in the game. We had it's a tight ball game right there at half. We grabbed some points right before we went to the half, and you go into the locker room with some momentum. You put points on the board, and then we knew we were getting the ball in the second half too. So we were pleased with where we sat right there going into halftime.
Now you came out the third quarter, scored the first touchdown, made it 21-17. Must have felt you had the momentum going at that point.
Yeah, I think we did. If you were at the game, you would have felt that you had the energy. You could tell the energy was on our side. The momentum was on our side. So you could tell our sideline was pumped up, amped up, and our guys were playing hard and continuing to do some great things. So I was very pleased when we got to 21-17, made it a ball game, and we were still right there in it.
Yeah, I guess again at some point in that game, I'm sure you come to the realization that we're still a young ball club. We're playing a team of juniors and seniors, a number 12th ranked team in the nation. Did that difference in the maturity of the two teams and kind of make a difference late in the game?
I don't know if it was so much maturity as the maybe depth of their team versus our team. I think maturity-wise, our guys have shown a lot this year as far as maturity goes, and I think we're a good ball club, and I think we stayed right there in them. We just got tired towards the end. That they probably had some more bodies they could rotate in, and when we got tired, we missed some tackles, and that's what ultimately cost us the game. Is that we got tired, and when we got tired, we made mistakes. And when you make mistakes against a good team, they make you pay, and that's kind of what happened for us.
Dwayne Robinson, your quarterback, completed 57.9% of his passes. Second week in a row, he's gone over 50% throwing the ball. He threw the ball with 4 receivers catching at least 2 balls and 6 different receivers catching the ball in the day. Michael Bowles ran for 75 yards, and the team had 126 yards rushing. So it looked like the production is continue to do well on the offensive side.
Yeah, I think anytime you put a new offensive system in when you come into camp, it's tough on the guys. And obviously they're still learning the ins and outs of every single thing that they're going to see throughout the year. And, it was a different type of defense than we played the week before. So there were some different reads and things like that. And I think that Dwayne did a really good job of running the offense. And I think, anytime you have a back like we have with Mike, and that guy has a very productive year the year before. When you come in early in the season, there's gonna be some guys that key on him. That's just part of the ball game and parts of the chess match that we have to play as coaches. And I think that's a little bit of what happened. Is probably why he didn't go over the 100-yard mark and things like that. Is there's guys that are keying on him, and that helps when Dwayne can pull the ball and be aggressive and run. It helps us as an offense more when he's able to get out and use his legs and use his speed. And then with him passing the ball, he's getting the ball in the receiver's hands. He's getting it to him quick. He's getting it to him in the good spots that he needs to. And we're being productive in the passing game, which will ultimately help us in the run game too.
Now, of course, we're only a second-year program. We played Lindsey Wilson last year. Do you see a big difference between this year's team against Lindsey Wilson and last year's?
Yeah, I think you see anytime you go and you get more maturity on your ball club and you go through a year of playing and guys get games under the belt, you're always going to see some type of maturity and some type of improvement. And so far in the first two games, I've seen a lot of improvement from where we were last year to where we are now, and that's a testament to our guys and how hard they work and how well they take coaching too. So I'm very pleased with where we sit as a ball club.
We talked a little bit about special teams last week. Of course, Osvaldo Esperacueta was the special teams player in the week last week. He kicked a 40-yard field goal as time was running out at the half. He punted for over 36 yards per punt this week, and had a great game by Trey Hawkins. He had a punt return for 53 yards and 8 kickoff returns for 181 yards with a long of 50. So special teams, did you feel like we played better?
Yeah, I think anytime you have a kicker like Oz that can hit it from deep, it makes it nice for you. It's easier to get into field goal range and things like that. And then punting the ball, he's done really well punting the ball this year too so far. And obviously we hope that continues. And then Trey's a dynamic return man. Anytime you have a guy like that, you're comfortable when you put him back there, and you know that at any point in time, he could break one. Right. And that's the threat of having a guy back there that can break one. Sometimes makes guys do different things on their punting coverages and kicking coverages and things like that. So it's nice to have someone back there that we know can break it.
Now at the half, they had 201 yards total offense. We had 189. Talk a little about the defense and what you saw from them this week.
I think our defense, anytime you play a dynamic offense like that has a lot of run-pass options and a lot of speed, it's tough. It puts your defense in tough spots because of the athletic ability you face. But I think our defense did a very good job of trying to contain them. And, the biggest thing that cost us on the defensive side was not making tackles. And, we were in the right spots. We had the right players in the right places and had the right defenses called in a lot of the times. But we just didn't quite make the plays. We didn't just quite finish the plays. And I think that's what cost us. Being in the right spots and things like that was perfect.
Good. Well, and last week we talked a little bit about turnovers was a problem. We seemed to correct that this week. We only had 2 turnovers and none in the first half. Then missed tackles, I'm sure, is something that we can correct. I mean, it's not a big problem. Yeah. So we're doing the little things and we're getting there. It sounds like.
Yeah, we those are all fixable problems, and it's not something it's not an effort or a problem with the way we're playing. It's more about the execution side of it, and those are things that us as coaches will concentrate on this week and will get fixed. We talked about turnovers. We tried to really enforce that this week, and we did better with it. Tackling is an issue on both special teams and defense, and we're going to get it fixed, and we're going to work on it this week, and we'll be ready to go for Hendricks.
Hendricks College, we played them last year and struggled a little bit early on and down in Conway. This year, they're coming here nationally ranked. They were nationally ranked at the end of last year. A tough Division III school, so we're continuing to play a real tough schedule. Talk a little bit about what we're going to see from this Hendricks College.
Yeah, I mean, anytime people talk about a nationally ranked Division III program, you talk about a good program. And Coach Buck down there has done a fantastic job of getting his guys ready and building the program. They're relatively new as well. They've started, I think, a year or two before we did. I'm not positive on that. But, they've got seniors and juniors. they got older guys playing in key positions, which I think helps them. They're led on offense by their senior quarterback, and he's gonna play his game. He's gonna do a lot of similar things we saw from Lindsey Wilson. They're gonna be what we see from him. With a lot of run pass options and a lot of shorter passes, but they're also going to take their shots too. So as a defense, we've just got to be ready for both sides of it. Now on defense, they're older as well. They play a three-man front, but their guys up front really aren't ever in the same spot. They kind of play a weird defense where they move around quite a little bit and things like that. So our offensive line will have to make their calls, and we'll have to read the right guys that we're supposed to read, things like that. But I think it's one where they're improving every year and we're improving too, and we're going to strap it up and see what happens. And I think it should be a good ball game.
Yeah, Hendricks is coming off a victory over Austin College, where they scored their second most points, which is 55, since 1951. And so Seth Peters, their quarterback, was 24 and 26, 298 yards and a couple touchdowns, and they had two running backs to go over the 100-yard mark with Mason Millsap and Dayton Wynn. So that was only the second time in history they've done that. So they're going to be a tough team for our defense, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. They're a very well coached ball club. They have a lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball, and they're gonna test everything we got. And it's one where our guys are going to be ready to play, and we'll go and see what happens.
Playing Hendricks College, Hendricks 1-0 on the year. Lyon College, we're still looking for our first victory, but we're making the progress and getting close to getting that first win of the year. The game will be at 2 o'clock on Saturday, Pioneer Stadium, and this will be the battle for Scottzilla. And again, we'll be talking more about that later this week. This week's game is sponsored by Citizens Bank, and we appreciate the good people at Citizens for supporting Lyon College and the football program. Coach, it's glad to have you here on the program today, and we look forward to seeing everybody at the stadium on Saturday. I'm John Kruger, and wishing you a great week, and we'll see you at Pioneer Stadium at 2 o'clock on Saturday.